What's up, guys? Welcome. Can you hear me? I don't know if audio's working or not. Check, check. I don't see any audio. La la la. There we go. Okay. Is that me?
Yeah, it's so delayed.
Yeah, it's a string delay. Yep. There's always a string delay. It's like 20 seconds. Yeah. All right, cool. All right. Yeah. Yeah, just keep walking on the car, showing stuff. Igor's going to be my outside the car cameraman. I got the camera here. I've got the M-Tron software pulled up for you guys so you can see that. And yeah, we're going to start doing this. I just got it pulled on. I got the speed set. You got to set the tack on the dyno. That's done. So now I'm just going to work on the VE map. The VE map's really important, obviously, because I don't know what this engine's going to move for air. So I've got a kind of generic VE map in here right now that I worked on a little bit at idle and a few other areas. And we'll see what it looks like once we actually get... Oh yeah, this whole thing is all stock. The engine's all stock. Internals, that is, and all that. But the turbo's not. Now I've got it's only got 6 STi dark blues in it for injectors right now, so it's going to be limited to power by some. There we go. And the turbo's a G3770, so it's more than enough turbo in theory. So I'm going to do a really, really low speed pull here. I'm just trying to track air fuels. I got to set it up real quick. Oops. Alright, this would be a partial throttle, like no, yeah, just 550s. But there's 6 of them, right? So I can do a little more oomph. And I've got some ethanol in it. I think we're at 60% ethanol. Let me double check. It had to mix up some, and I haven't looked at it for a while. Flat spots on the tires from sitting for so long. Let's see. Ethanol, yeah, 64% is what we're looking at right now. So I was feathering the throttle there because the boost was coming up a little bit. I was trying to make the pull without any boost, but we get 4 pounds. The timing is super conservative. I got the timing pulled down pretty far. At least I think I do. If as long as the air mass being calculated is somewhat accurate, then the timing map I have on here is basically the factory timing map. Up to almost 2 grams per cylinder of load, and then I interpolated down after that. But again, that's based on whether my calculated grams per cylinder is correct or not, which is being blended by the VE table and what's called TMAF. TMAF means I have a TMAP sensor, which is temperature and manifold pressure sensor on both sides of the throttle body. And if I know the throttle body size, I know the pressure on both sides, then in theory I'm supposed to really calculate how much air flows through that orifice, right? It's just an orifice. And by knowing how much air and volume goes through it, and then knowing the pressure and the temperature of it, I also know the density of the air, therefore I know the mass of the air, then it calculates an air mass. Now I have that set in here to blend 50% with the VE table. So what will happen is when I do a log, I will look at the total air mass calculated, I will look at the Tmap value that's going through the throttle body, and I look at the VE. There'll be an average in the middle. Now, if my fueling turns out to be too rich, then I'll look at those numbers, the VE one and the Tmap one, and whichever one's higher, I'll bring that one down. And the idea is that eventually I get those to be about the same and correct, so the air fuel comes out the same and correct. And that's how this one's going to be tuned. I don't have manifold exhaust manifold pressure yet. I do want to do it on one of these cars eventually, but you know, we're on a timeline. We're trying to get this thing done in less than a couple weeks. So here we are. We're on the dyno. So okay, I'm gonna do it again. I need to pull up the logger though. Oh motherfucker! I don't think I said logger. Damn it. It's all right. We have parameters in here. Look at air mass. Let's look at the tune parameters here. We'll do that. Fuck it. I forgot. I totally rebooted my computer and did a full reinstall of everything, so it's been slow going to get everything fixed. Alright, so we're going to do that again. I'm going to log it this time. Alright, that hit way more boost than I was hoping. So I'm looking, I thought I had wastegate duty cycle turned off. But we got 9 pounds. I was trying to go for a 5 pounder. I got 5 pound springs in it. So we will see what we got. Okay. Where's the boost at? Here it is. Right there. There's the boost. Okay, well I'm glad I let out of it, because it did not retard the ignition like it should have, nearly as much as it should have. Never mind. I'm going to change this idle quick. I've been fucking with the idle control, trying to get it to be a little better, and I think I made it worse than my last change. Yeah, I induced an oscillation in it. You guys are toxic. I don't know what the guy named the car. No, I have no idea. And I have no idea if Tanner's watching. That's not my concern. Alright, so my question is, why did... my day's going well. I'm just trying to figure out why the air mass is not going up with boost. It should be like way up there. It's not. Air mass final only 0.8. That doesn't make any sense. Throttle air air mass is 0.7. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, I got the CAN system figured out. But the problem was actually kind of my fault, really. It was a combination of them and me. Me, because I didn't finish setting up the gear position indication, and so it was reporting that it was in some crazy high gear, like 17th gear, and that resulted in a byte overrun into the next ID section, and that turns out that next column is what triggers the low oil level. So once I put the right gear set up in there, problem went away. So now it's weird that it would do that it would overrun into another thing and not have like a cap on it. And they apologize for not having a cap on it, but regardless of that, could have been better. What the hell is going on here? It's weird because the air mass from the speed density is also low, and that seems weird. Yeah, so the good thing about that night fire is that now we know which little byte in the CAN ID stream triggers a low oil level, so I can set that up to trigger off of something should I desire. Yeah, you wouldn't expect that. And when it happened, I was like, what? Like, I looked at it one day and I go, the gear says 6. I was like, I wonder if I have it just reporting too many gears. It just kind of came to me one day, and then I went there and I set it, and bam, it went away instantly. And I was like, motherfucker. No, this is a 30. This one is an EZ30. This is an EZ30 I got. It's a JDM one that I got. Oh, you motherfucker. I didn't have it turned off. I thought I had the boost turned off. I could have swore I had the table set. Oh, 20%. I don't want to do that. I want to do this differently. So that's a 14-pound clamp I got set on that right now. I was doing that based on another car. I was going to run the EG initially, so I got that based on the EG, so that's too much for this little guy right now, especially for the first pull. And to make it worse, the first lean pull was 40 degrees of timing, if that makes sense. I'm just going to do some blendy blends here real quick. Like that, really fast. So I'm in I mode. So the SI drive works. That's just really cool. Is I can do iDrive and set boost tables based on position. Now it's in I mode, which is going to be boost target table number 1, which is this one right here. But then the boost is also, there's 2 target tables I got set, 1 and 2. Number 2 works in Sport Sharp. And then there's also a boost cap, which is the other table you saw. So I can set higher targets based on SI drive, but then tweak those targets based on ethanol content. So I essentially get a high and a low boost, but they both are on a sliding scale based on ethanol content. So it's pretty cool. Did you do a D-stroke? Absolutely, yes. It has been done already. And actually in 2009, I posted a picture of a post I had made on Naziok saying we should de-stroke a 3/6 with a 3.0 crank. And then, sure enough, people have done it. It wasn't me, though. Yeah, so the custom crank is just a 30 crank that you machine to fit the 36 oil pump gear. And that's it. And then you put the 30 crank in the 36, which is way better because you can use longer rods and a bunch of other things. Whoopee. What the fuck? Lose control. Neutral position table. Let's go. There we go. All right, 0. Yeah, I just had that as 0. Set this to 0. There we go. I did max already. All right, so that should give us 0 boost this time. Okay, save that. Throttle mass flow 1, that's turned on. Okay. Come on, stop. Do that. There we go. Throttle body, throttle mass flow. Well, that says 18, so it should have added more, but it didn't. Alright, so we'll use this one. Engine air mass. I don't know if you guys can see this other window popped up. It's the runtime values. The runtime values popped up so I can watch the throttle mass. Alright. Yes, I do. Get logged. First time. Oh, I know what the issue is. I know exactly what it is. I have it on grams per cylinder and not grams per revolution. I don't think this has revolution. So if I do that per cylinder, I gotta divide it by 3 to get revolution. Well, multiply the value by 3 or divide the calculated by 3. Okay. So that's what's going on. So I've got 0.2 is my current increment is 0.2. So I need it to be 0.6. I want 0.7. Finally 7. 0.7. Generate. Sorry, 0.7. 0.07. Okay. No. There we go. That's more like what it's supposed to be. I made myself a big, huge field map by doing that. Let's extend that stuff. Extend this stuff. There we go. So now I would have 15 degrees of timing, not 40. Excellent. All right. Newsflash, I also make mistakes. So that's something to keep in mind here, right? The Subaru ECU uses grams per revolution for its load calculation, and this used grams per cylinder. Now on the Subaru, if you want to know per cylinder, you just divide it by 2. For an EJ, I mean. Now this one being a 6-cylinder, I got divided by 3. So there we go. That's way better. I also have a much better timing with boost now than I did before. Perfect. I save that. Write this guy. Do I have ignition 2 up? I do. So I'm just going to copy this table. Copy table. I love this about the Amtron. Go to ignition 2. Come over here. I can paste the table, which does all of it. The load scaling and everything. Ignition 3. Paste the table. There we go. Now all 3 are the same. Now if I want to do something with that, with 3 different tables, I can. Right now it's set up to run table 1 with compensation based on ethanol and load here. So I don't have to use 3 ignition tables, I just use 1. But the STi drive can trigger 3 other tables as well, so I can select which timing table I'm going to use. Right now I want all 3 to be the same, but later on, when this thing gets set up for motorsports and we get a built EZ30 in it, then we can do all kinds of cool things with the ignition advance. I can set one table up specifically for the anti-lag system or launch control and that kind of stuff, and have a table for daily driving or whatever. All right, now I'm not trying to blow the car up. That's good. I'm glad it held on for 9 pounds and 40 fucking degrees of timing. That made for an epic stream though, full the rod first thing. Alright, here it goes. Sounds amazing. Makes no power. That's 180 wheel right now. Sure, or 190 wheel. Sure sounds great, doesn't it? I'm actually surprised at how laggy the boost is on this. Like really, really, really surprised. I need to verify cam timing is advancing correctly during the pull. It wasn't in setup, but the fact that I have peak boost till 4,500 RPM, which seems awful darn laggy. Hey Connor, thank you for the $5, man. What's the worst experience you've had, and which car was it? Worst as in, what do you mean by worst? Let's go back to that. Like, worst is in, I just didn't enjoy it, or the results were the worst. That's what I want to know about that. You go with 550s because you expect sending boost with 1051 would blow the motor. No, I went with 550s because it was easy. It was quick and easy. We have some 1050s we could throw in it, and we'd like to at some point. But we just wanted to do this with some ethanol in it and see what it did. I mean, I have enough fuel flow. I should be able to do 400 and something wheel on it, especially if I lower the ethanol down a little more. I got 6 of them, right, instead of just 4. So I should really do about 400 something wheel on it. And I think that's pretty reasonable, something to expect from a 6-cylinder with the weak, little tiny, the rods like this big are like this big, the little pencil skinny rods. So I think that's something that's to be expected. So, all right, let's figure out what's going on here. Why are you making no power? Wow, really, 18 degrees and it still made no power. It's rich. It's a bit rich. Tuning bug eyes are not that fun. That's correct. I agree with that. Alright. I mean, that doesn't look bad. I could use some love. I mean, the timing you see goes way down based on boost and then has a nice ramp rate, pretty clean ramp rate. That's not bad. Engine speed you see there. Lambda target is this smooth line, I believe. And then Lambda... Yeah, then Lambda 1, the one we're using, is the pink line. So it's richer than target by a good margin. And the timing doesn't seem that conservative to me. I mean, it seems conservative, not that conservative that it would only make 180 wheel horsepower at the moment. So let's look at, let's go to the VVT one. Did I not set that up? Oh, I didn't set that up. Damn. Power and torque. Oh, what this thing thinks it is. This thing says it's 160 kilowatts. All right, Connor, let's see. I'd say one of my worst tuning experiences was a road tune, and it was so bad. It's one of the reasons I don't like to road tune. I was on a trip to New York. I was doing a bunch of tunes in New York, and they were road tunes. And I hate road tuning, but it's what I did. Why is this thing doing that? I hate road tuning, but I was doing it anyways, and I didn't have access to a dyno. The nearest dyno was really far away. Steering wheel angle looks like it's glitching out. Anyways, so it made me fear for my life because the owner of the car was driving, and he would turn corners without slowing down. And it wasn't just like driving fast, right? He was driving fast. It just wasn't slowing down. And he would cut one corner so sharp, it was in the oncoming lane, and then he would go across the fucking lane and go off the fucking road on the other side. And I'm like, dude, I'm trying to tune. Like, I'm trying to hold my laptop here and tune. Can you slow it down some? He's like, this is the way I drive, man. You just gotta get used to it. And I was like, your tune is done. Like, that's it. I'm done. Take me back. We're good. I'm not doing that shit anymore. Yeah, it was insanity. Like, and to think that someone actually drives like that blew my mind. I couldn't believe that the person drove like that on purpose. Really, it was pretty insane. That one was really bad. And I have no idea what it made, obviously, because it was on the road. So right now, you guys, I don't know if you guys can see the window. Like I said, I'm looking at the real-time data. It's not the log, it's another window that's giving me stuff that's happening right now. And I'm just looking to see what we got going on. So 106 kilowatts is 214 or 215 horsepower. Okay. And that's at the crank, according to this. So 180 wheel is probably a little inflated in that regard. Shit, now you wonder if I got 6 cylinders running this thing. Is this a 3-cylinder? Doesn't sound like a 3-cylinder. Manifold pressure was flat as can be at 7 pounds. 7 pounds should be like 140 horsepower over stock. And if that was the case, it would imply that this thing made 60 horsepower stock, which obviously isn't the case. So I gotta see what's going on here. To the speed. So my air mass is 0.77. That's what it's saying my final air mass is. So 0.77 times 3, we'll just say 2.1, 2 point something. Let's compare this to a stock timing map. Stock timing map at 2.1 is, we'll say 4,000 RPM is what? Let's see, I got one open here. 4,000 RPM, it's 14 degrees on the stock tune. That doesn't make any sense, because at 1,600 RPM they have 25 degrees. I'm assuming this is an accurate time map from a factory. Oh, here we go. Here's the map. Alright. Here they are. So at 4,000, it's got 27. And at 6,000, it's got 32 at a load of 2, which is significantly more than I have on here at the same load. So I have significantly less timing on here than the factory calls for on this engine for the same the same engine load. It's interesting that the factory tune even goes to 2.0 because a 6-cylinder would never hit 2.0 NA. It would only hit like 1.5 or 1.6. So I guess my timing is quite a bit conservative then, because I have 18 at around 2 and 21 at redline, and factory it is, look at it again, at wait, what RPM was that? Let's take a look. So full boost RPM, that's at 4,000 and 7,000. So the factory tune at 2 at 4,000 is 27, so 9 degrees more than I currently have on it, and 30 at redline. So pretty much 9 degrees across the board more on the factory tune than I have on this right now. So the simple answer is, let's add timing, and let's try not to fold a rod. I'm going to grab this whole map down here. I'm just going to group select a large portion of it, and we're going to start going up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one won't apply to that one. 6. Alright, there's 6 more degrees of timing. I'm actually going to smooth this one area out. I'm just going to taper this in. I can fuck with all that shit down there later. Like that. Okay, oh, there's that spot again. It's doing it. Let's see if I can catch that. F3. Come on, F3. So the fan's turned off. And it started to oscillate a little bit on the idle. Okay? So I need to adjust the idle just a smidge. Sounds like I got too much derivative on it. I'm just going to zero the derivative out. See if that improves next fan cycle around. Does the owner plan on upgrading the internals? Yeah, so this is my engine in this car. This isn't even his engine or anything. This is my motor. He hasn't paid a dime for this build here so far. We're doing another thing on his car. We're doing a 2.3 with everything, billet crank, you know, closed deck, fire locks, 14mm head studs, ported heads, my cams, you know, G42 1200. Like, he's getting a gigantic build, and we're just building the engine right now. And he saw my post online where I asked if anyone had a VA chassis that they wanted, because I wanted to do a 6-speed in. And he was like, dude, just use mine. You got the car. So I was like, all right. So we use this car. So it's got my engine in it. My thoughts are he's going to love this so much he's going to want a 6-cylinder instead of the 2.3. And if that's the case, then that's great. We'll build a D-stroke 36. Let him drive this around like this for a while. At the, you know, I'm hoping we get 400 wheel out of it. And then we'll do a D-stroke 36, closed deck, head studs, ported, cams, etc. And put that in here and have a nice, hopefully comfortable 800 wheel. So that's the plan. Oh. I'm going to do one more thing real quick before I set that off. Alright. Ever tuned a motorcycle? Yes. Am I willing to do it? Not anymore, because I don't have a dyno that's good for motorcycles. I suppose this thing could be. There's a thing you can make or attach to it, and that'll make it hold a motorcycle. So I think at some point I would like to set that up, but I've just been so busy, you know. Razor like the clamped out ones with cheap owner. If it folds a rod, I'm gonna call you Cletus. Yeah, McDonald's. Yeah, well, can only blame myself if I pull the rod. Well, that thing sings. Wow. That thing sounds awesome. I picked up 15 horsepower. That's it. With, what did I do, 6 degrees or 7 degrees of timing? That's not a lot. I got a big power dip at 6 grand. It does go pretty rich at 6K. It is pretty rich there. But the power's not going up. So either I've got the wrong cam timing or the AVLS isn't working. I know I hooked it up. I thought I heard it activate in my earballs. But let's double check. There it is, cam control. I knew it was there. Oh, here we go. Alright. So the cams are not happy. Until we get up in the RPM, then they clean up. And they track very well, actually. And at 6K, they're good. It's just down low. I'm having issues. Let's see. Alright. I had this issue before, and that was because it came with the cams control, closed loop control set wrong. What? Does that say 2.7? That does, okay. So I'm going to borrow this table from one I did before. That worked really good. There it is. Wait, these are supposed to be 300. it is, 300. Oh, cams are off. Look at that. Now we're talking. I thought I made this table, but I must have, when I redid the tune, because I was having issues with the can stuff. So I got it? No. None. 1500, 80. Alright. Figure. Let's make this one. Just make it switched. Hit OK. Hit that. Hit this. Alright. Now we're talking. Helps if you have the cams open up. Picked up 50 wheel. Probably leaned out quite a bit too. Oh yeah. Wow. Where's Igor? Igor! Where did the phone go?
The
phone.
phone. Put it up on the tripod, sitting in front of the car.
Oh, is that where it is? Oh, I see it now. Would you show the diagram with it? Alright, so he's showing you, yeah, get nice and close, look closer. There you go. So the air fuel is the pink line. You see it went from being rich down there, red and the green, to being a flat line at 13 straight across. So it leaned out quite a bit. Helps when you have the AVLS turn on. Thank you for minding, by the way, whoever that was. So that's good. That's good news. Horsepower is a little funny looking. So you see it goes up. We gained quite a bit. I still got a dip around 6K. So dip around 6, and then it goes like that. So I'm actually concerned. Do these float valves easily? I have no idea. Thank you. I have no idea if they float valves easily or not. So, what if we're floating a valve? That would be a bummer, huh? Let's see. Timing. I mean, I added a lot of timing. So, typically, like if you're in boost or whatever, and I add a degree or so, I'm anticipating like 5 to 10 horse. But to add 6 and only pick up a couple, that's a little surprising. But it does tell us something, and this last dyno shows it, that my, even though I had 7 pounds of boost in the manifold, it wasn't getting into the engine. You know, if you can't get in the engine, you can't get into the cylinders, then you can't make any power on it. And that's the issue with speed density. I actually want to address that. Some dude was coming to my chat talking about how speed density wasn't an estimation. And the fact of the matter is, it fucking is. And this is perfectly proof of that. Just knowing the manifold pressure doesn't tell you what's going on in the cylinder. The valves are a restriction. They're the most restricted part of the entire engine, entire induction tract and everything. You see VE drop off as RPMs go up. It's because the piston is sucking through 2 small holes, and there's a lower pressure in the cylinder than there is in the port and in the manifold. That's just the way engines work. And air gets heated by the valve, it gets heated by the intake runners, it gets heated by a bunch of stuff, it gets heated in the chamber, and when it's going into the cylinder and it's warming up, it's occupying space, which reduces how much makes it into the cylinder. So knowing the intake air temp on the other side of the throttle body is helpful, but it's nowhere near accurate, right? It's not going to be accurate, because you got to know what the air is doing when it gets into the engine. And that's why in most engine management systems, like this one and many out there, you got charge temperature compensation and charge temperature estimation, and then charge temperature offsets. Oops. This one here, this offset table, this is an approximate amount of cooling that your fuel type provides you. The gasoline cools the intake charge. How much? Not nearly as much as ethanol. Ethanol cools it quite a bit. So if you look at this table here, this one, I made this one in 30 seconds. It's super generic. It's not very accurate. It needs more time to be accurate. But the idea is, if you look here, if you're on pump gas, your stoichiometric ratio of the fuel that you have is the left column, so it'll be near 15, and your lambda 1, then you're only getting a couple degrees of cooling on there, because it's not doing a whole lot. But if your stoichiometric ratio is 9 to 1, like ethanol, and at the same lambda, you get more cooling. Well, that's what happens. Now, this table, like I said, is not aggressive enough. That should be quite a bit more. It cools quite a bit more with increases in the stoichiometric ratio. But also, just because it's that's the ratio of the fuel, doesn't mean that's what you're running, right? You're running this top column. So if I'm running lean on ethanol, well, it's not going to cool nearly as much as if I'm running rich on ethanol, this lower left corner. So this kind of stuff exists in almost every real ECU out there, especially this other table here, charge temperature estimate. This one is based on coolant temp and air temp. The lower the engine speed and the lower the airflow, as you see here, this 100%, 100 in this box would mean that it's using engine temperature for your air charge. And then a 0 would mean it's using your intake air temp for air charge temperature. So as your airflow increases, which obviously I figured out now, I've got this wrong. As your airflow increases, then your charge temp is going to bias towards the air temp in the column, in that stream. As the flow rate decreases, it's going to bias towards the coolant temp, because the intake port, the intake manifold, the valve, the cylinders, it's all going to heat the air up as it enters the engine. That's going to affect how much air actually makes it into the engine. So you have all these estimates, I mean, in their fucking name, estimate, that affect the engine in speed density. Whereas if you're mass airflow, you don't need this, because when it goes past that sensor, it goes into the engine. Unless you're in a situation where you have enough overlap that the intake manifold is greater than exhaust pressure, that you're pushing air, fresh air, from the intake into the exhaust, which does not happen very often. The only time that it would ever happen really is at only occasional times where you have peak resonance tuning in the intake and the exhaust, or you have a blower, a positive displacement blower or centrifugal blower with a cam with a lot of overlap. Then you can actually make that happen. And that's the only time that the amount of air that goes past the mass airflow sensor isn't going into the engine, with the exception of, you know, leaks and blow-off valves, that kind of stuff. So MAF is a measurement, and speed density is a estimate. I say it all the time. People go, no, it's not. Well, you're fucking wrong. It is. So there you go. Don't be that guy. Literally, the guy's name is that guy in my stream, in my freaking YouTube channel, who was arguing that shit. And I think the dude learned like 2 things about an engine, and wanted to go spew it all over the internet. People, oh, check out what I learned. I learned things. Dumbass. Yes, I'm toxic. All right, so that's better. Now is airflow increasing. That's better. All right. That was a big old puff of smoke. One guy asked, what makes a bug eye bad to tune? The ECU and the engine, and usually the interior, and often the exterior, and the transmission, and yeah, pretty much everything about the car makes it terrible to tune. The ECU is trash. The engine is a pile of shit. The ECU's got hard coding limits. It's got hardly any tables for any compensations or anything. It's really, really bad. The engine doesn't have ABCS. It's got fixed cam timing, obviously, that's what I'm saying. But it's got weak internals, crappy bearings, shitty rods, super laggy. The heads crack all the time. The turbos don't ever match that engine very well. The interiors are almost always hammered and smell like piss and dog urine or something inside them. And they're dirty and have fucking mold growing out of areas. The transmissions are weak. They feel like ass to shift. They don't hold a lot of power. Yeah, there's not much about a bug eye that I like, or that makes tuning any fun. They're just shit. Alright. That's my opinion, obviously. Alright, so let's save that. Alright, now this will now richen up the mixture because I changed the charge temperature estimate table. So instead of it being stuck in these higher numbers, it's going to come up to here in these lower numbers, and that's going to add fuel to it. But I do want to look at that last log. My cam timing is a lot closer, still off a smidge. I can tweak that a little bit, but a lot less jitters. I'll turn the derivative down, that should help that out. Reduce idle speed a little bit. Again, those are my opinions, so, you know, don't be offended. Yeah. I've had so many cars show up that smell so bad, or they didn't clean anything, and I gotta, like, dig a foot worth of shit off of the seat, get my laptop on there or something. Like, it's, there's been some pretty scary ones, that's for sure.
How's it working?
It's going all right. It's not a powerhouse.
140.
240 now. 250. I don't know if that's turbo or what, but every time I rev it, nice big cloud of smoke. So I'm guessing maybe your drain's not going to be as efficient. I don't know. I'm squeaking.
Hold on.
Is that a belt?
Probably.
We had the old JD belt that it came with on it, right?
Well, I mean, it could be idlers. I mean, the smoke could be because it sat for 15 years. Who knows?
Yeah.
Like, you don't know when it was pulled. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know any of the history of this thing.
Nope.
I know
It's just amazing that it's not loud.
Like, oh, piston slap?
Yeah, that's all. Why? No slap and no bearing noise.
Yeah, you get it.
Everything after that, I was okay with.
I feel like there's chain noise. I feel like when you let off and revs down, there's chain slap.
They do that. My mom's Tribeca kind of does that.
Yeah.
But it's been doing it for like 100,000 miles. So. We also, I don't think we reset the chain tensioners when we did the inner cover seal.
When did you do inner cover seal?
So they have the little bicycle chain link on
Oh,
them,
on
right?
hers. I think
yes.
I just like,
No.
when the fuck did you do that? Yeah.
No, my mom's Tribeca.
Yeah.
I don't remember flipping the little bicycle lock. You know, the little ratchet, the anti-move back ratchet?
Yeah.
So I think they had to pump up on their own.
Which takes a while.
Not ideal. How's boost control?
Well, I hit 9 pounds of boost with 40 degrees of timing on it once.
Oh, well, actually, you know what's funny is we thought it was going. We're like, holy shit, that thing sounds awesome.
It made 180 wheel.
But you only did like 2 seconds of a pull.
Yeah.
You're like, what? And then off.
It still made no power. Even then, it made no power. It wasn't great. Because I didn't have the fucking valves open.
Oh.
The lift wasn't working. Like that, you see the difference there? That's what the valve's open versus valve's shut.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Makes a difference.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are some poor cams.
Yeah.
Shows you how bad you already knew they were.
I mean, yeah. We knew they weren't great.
Your only hope is that there's 6 ports instead of 4 ports. So
I'm going to add more timing to it for the cams across the board. I'm streaming live, so don't say anything you might regret.
Have you run it on like 8 gate, 6 pounds?
Yeah, that's what's on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at 40 degrees, it still only made 9 pounds?
Well, so that was at 20% duty cycle on the wastegate.
Oh.
It made 9 pounds. Because that's where I set it up originally for the EG33, and I forgot to turn it down for the EZ. So then I went, oh, that's with boost, and I turned it down to gate, and now gate is right around 7.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, they don't flow well enough.
No, they don't flow well, so I'm totally overboosting.
Seeing any issues with it, or just working through the tune?
Working through the tune?
Sweet.
Yeah, I mean, other than that big ass cloud of smoke every time I run, get on it.
It's when you get on it, though, not when it's decelerating. Turbos are usually decelerating.
That's usually valve guides for that. I'm guessing it's probably a bunch of oil in the intake. Because we had to put a catch on that pipe. And the only PCV right now is basically going into the intake, right?
Yes.
So I'm wondering if that's why. Where's that normally go in these things?
Directly, it just goes from the valve core to the intake.
Right.
Just like the STi ones with the tree, same exact thing.
Do we need catch cans?
No.
I'm curious how much oil is in that tube. Since we have
I can pop it off in 60 seconds.
We have a severely inadequate PCV system on this. I'm kind of curious how much that is carryover.
I mean, I can check how oily it is.
Alright.
It's got full suction.
do you mean it's got full suction on it? It's got full suction on it?
Yeah, like massive suction.
Dang. I'm gonna learn about EZ right now.
It goes to the back of the manifold just like an STi does. So you see it, the little without there? Yeah. That is the PCB system. Oh. Check that one. Is that one supposed to suck super hard? I heard it sucking. So that makes it suck it back through that one. Through that one, because they literally just loop. They're the same side, right? So just be like going through an open case can. I thought you meant the PCB setup, not the breather hose.
Oh, that reminds me. I need to look at these fucking air temps. So I have an air temp sensor on the turbo outlet, and I have one post intercooler as well, so I can see what the right here, 43. Okay, so it's getting a 67 out of the turbo going into the intercooler. Take temp before intercooler right there.
What is fluid tip stuff? 50? The engine's like cold to the touch. Yeah. I just put my hand on the valve covers. It's like
So at the end of the poll, it was 85 Celsius.
wow. That's way too cold.
That's a little cold. Yeah, that's true. 85 Celsius in the poll. So when I'm at the intercooler,
Oh, it's cold as fuck. I just put my hand on it.
so the air temperature going into the intercooler during a poll, going in was 68.
Yeah.
Coming out was 19
Woo!
Celsius.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, that's fucking working.
I love it. Really interesting. Means pretty good distribution too, because if it wasn't, you'd be climbing.
Yeah, no, it's doing good.
Nice. Should I turn the lower fan off? Actually, you probably don't even need to.
Turn the upper fan off. I don't like that one. It's too cold.
correctly though with the air bleed system.
Keeping the steam out of there?
Well, so the bubble keeps climbing. So it keeps climbing. So when I first started it and I bled it a whole bunch of times, I got a whole bunch of air out of it, and then I capped it off. Well, the bubble keeps creeping down the tube, which means the more and more it's getting into the reservoir and not in the cooler.
Yep.
So it means it's working. And it doesn't have any leaks, so I know that's not, it's not going anywhere. Or it's leaking into the intercooler, and then that's what smoke is.
Well, that's oil smoke. That's not coolant smoke.
I had a concern.
I'm really concerned with what that oil's from, though.
Probably just valve seals. It's when you rev it. It's not when you. Like diesel is generally turbo when you have a high vacuum. Plus the turbo's way high.
Yeah, it should be draining fine. I mean,
yeah,
it's really high.
I don't think that would be necessary. I mean, it's not.
Do we have it restricted appropriately?
Huh?
We have the oil restricted
Yes,
appropriately. They have factor one in the turbo itself?
Yeah. The fitting on the top of them has a tight hole in it.
It came with that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all the G series come with factory fitting on them.
I didn't know if they came with it or not. Yeah, it's the 35 thou hole.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah.
Okay. So where would the oil come from?
I mean, it could be just sticky ring or oil control rings.
Yeah, it could be 9 pounds of boost with 40 degrees of timing. Who knows?
Yep. Yep. Yeah, that PCV hose was totally dry, and the other one was totally dry.
Which would imply it's not the engine, it's just turbo. It's getting past the turbo. Because if it was engine, they would have blow by, and that would be covered in oil. So it must be getting past the turbo.
Unless it's valve seals and it's leaking on the valve.
Yeah.
So it's on the intake side of it. Now it's not doing it.
It's because the exhaust is cold from sitting. So I think it's gonna be turbo. I think that's what we're gonna find. I think the downpipe probably a little oil on the turbo. Not a big deal. The drain's just not working as good as we'd hoped. Whatever.
Yep. The only way to do it is take the front cover off.
Yeah, and go into the cover or something? Yeah.
It's the only correct way to do it on that setup. Without a scavenge pump, without a dry sump or anything like that.
Whatever. Sorry.
Which honestly, you could put a little inline scavenge pump in that, no problem. There's plenty enough room. Mount it to the side of the pan right where it goes in, and run it to the front of the scavenge pump, and then pump it down into the pan. You would just keep it from backflowing is all it would basically do. Plus it would be under oil level, so you'd never have to worry about like running it dry or anything, and like you could just a little tiny one. There's lots of space right there between the header and the actual oil pan.
Need to add timing right there.
What are your fans set to trigger on at?
95? I think. 95, yeah.
So they've never even turned on?
They have turned on.
Huh?
They have turned on. I've had it, them turn on and bog the engine down for a second.
I wonder if there's anything in the overflow. So I let the overflow dry to see if we were pushing any coolant, and there's just a tiny little bit in the bottom of it. Like maybe 1/8 of an inch in the bottom of it.
Sweet.
So that means we're not, there's no excessive overpressuring there. It's a normal amount of leakage.
And then randomly does that.
It is smoking pretty good though. It's just blowing by. It's coming out of the pipe pretty good. Or it might be just, it smells like oil.
It looks like oil. Is that all it is? I can probably see if I can adjust that. Let's see. You got a huge bit rate on it. Oh yeah, sticks for me at 480. That's weird.
What's that?
Oh, my stream is turned way down. Even I don't know why the canvas changed to 640 by 480. It was set at 1080, but it changed at some point. And unfortunately, I don't know if I can stop the stream or anything to fix that. Can you pause it? I don't think you can pause it either.
Does it smoke when you're doing a pull?
I don't know. I'm watching the dyno and the logs at that time.
I wonder, does that PCV have a check valve in it for positive pressure?
I mean, it looks like that too, but yeah, it's got a check valve in it. I don't know if it's working or not, but it's got that is a check valve in the valve cover there.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you see it. When you pull the hose off, you can see it. There's
Okay.
a little nub in there. Oh, my Amtron's locking up again. Not great.
Not?
Mm-mm.
That doesn't make any sense.
Motherfuck. There it goes. It's back. Shit locked up on me. Wow, this is all the way down to 0.8. Huh. That definitely implies a leak right there. A lot shorter than that. Alright. Sorry guys, I was looking at some stuff here. I don't know if I can change it. Well, I tried to lie to it and see if I could get it to change to 480, or change out of 480 by turning off the video stream. But if I stop the stream stops completely, and then I can't fix it. So I'm sorry about that, guys. I didn't realize it was so bad. Yeah, right. Yeah, come on over. I mean, I got a big ass leaf blower on here already. I need some nitrous is what I need. Bring some nitrous with you. All right, I'm going to do another poll. Do another poll. I changed the cam timing. I want to fight that 6,000 RPM dip. See if I can figure out why it's doing that. It falls pretty hard at 6. Not as bad on the last one as it was before. Oh yeah, I want to change the PIDs. I'm going to turn the derivative down. See if that stops it from jittering so much. Integral's pretty low. So it's possible that almost all that jitter is from the integral. Proportional's a little high. I might drop that down a smidge too. And then I added some target to it. So we'll see, hopefully we get a little more oomph. I have no idea how much these things want to be advanced, right? I don't know what this cam's going to want. But I also know that the turbo's not pushing very hard. I mean, we got 7 pounds of boost on it. And with 7 pounds of boost, back pressure is going to be really low. So there's no reason why I can't run a lot of cam timing. Start with that. Take position, still move around a little bit. Yeah, the Emptron's pretty good. I used to bitch how slow it was to tune stuff. And then I discovered there were some hotkeys that are like vital to use to tune in any reasonable amount of time. It's still a little slow only because there's just so much stuff, and that's not a bad thing at all. It's one of the most feature-rich systems you can get. It's pretty insane. was actually a lot less boost with the extra cam timing, so it didn't want the cam timing. I was surprised by that. I figured it would like a little extra, but it did not like extra. Everywhere I added cam timing, it lost power. Boost is also lower though, that pole everywhere. Oh yeah, what's my temp? Double check my engine temp. Cam timing is quite a bit better. You see how smooth it is during the pull. This is some weird shit here though. I gotta figure out what's up with that. That just seems weird right there. While running down, it just goes fucking bonkers. That's bizarre. But here, I mean, while running, it's good. That's great. So during the pull, cam timing is smoothed out. We figured that part out. Now it's just a matter of figuring out why it's flipping out up here. So it probably needs either a little more filtering or a little less derivative. We can, you can bring up the derivative of that. Derivative test. No, I don't want that. Come on, VVT. Right here. Proportionals, negative 12. Derivative output is negative 31 right there. Now, if I just bump it forward a smidge in time, which one changes the most? The derivative. See how active the derivative? Proportional is pretty active too, but the derivative is really active. So we may need to reduce the derivative some. The left-hand solenoid is 65% duty cycle. That's really weird because it shows the derivative for it is negative 48. Oh, no, that's right-hand primary. Oh, yeah, so yeah, still negative 46 or so. 47. So the left hand is too active. Left hand is way more active than the right hand. So that could be a solenoid issue. The solenoid could be going out, or that could be I just have it too aggressive. Now the thing is though, is that they're the same, left and right. This is, you don't have the option of doing left solenoid and right solenoid unless you lie to it and say that exhaust is one intake and the or the you know, and intake is the other. Target shared error. Okay. Shared error. Shared error. That's all shared. Let's knock this down. Make a big change. Integral's a pretty low value, so I'm surprised it's doing so much. It might just be overactive on the proportional integral and not relying enough on the integral, or proportional derivative and not relying enough on the integral, which is fine. That's not a big deal. I wouldn't mind adding some integral to it anyways. Alright. So cam timing here is pretty good. A little noisy, but not too bad. Position is really good. You see a little wiggle in there too, right? See the blue's got a little wiggle? I'm surprised there's no filtering on it. Oh, you know what? I bet I can filter that. If you go channels, inputs, VT, this one here. I got a filter of 6. Let's do a 10th filter. Get that smoothed out some. This one's got 6 as well. Make that. Oh, I can't change that one. Okay. There it goes. Being dumb. Alright, let's see. We'll increase the filtering a little bit. That should slow the system down. Alright, I'm going to pull some cam timing out. I'm going to do a big cam timing change. Since I added, oh, look at that. Look how much that thing's wobbling around.
Something's making a bug blacking noise.
Yeah, the exhaust probe.
Huh?
The exhaust probe.
Oh, I was walking outside and it sounded like a bearing came out of it, like one of the idler pulleys was like non-existent.
No, it's the exhaust probe and the taillight. Rattle around.
I was like, holy shit.
Oh, I hate you. There we go. Looks a little happier. Yeah, it's way better. Zero. That's what we're putting in here. Put 0 degrees in. See what happens. I sure love revving it. I'm gonna have a slight vacuum leak. Fire went up. User output 4 is on. That's the ABLS. Just want to ensure that it's staying on throughout the poll. It is. At the very beginning of it. Looks good. So it's staying on. The question is, are both sides opening? That is actually a really good question. So it's auxiliary channel 11. It does change tone when I ignite the cam. I'm gonna get some here. Wait. I'm gonna pulse the lift valves. You put your hand on them, tell me if they're actuating. Did you feel it? Try the other side. I know one of them is working, so try the other side.
Hold on. Now it's working over there. I can hear this one coming on.
But that one's not?
No, but this one wasn't when you were doing whatever it was before. The first time. I mean, you can hear
Wiggle it. And the other one, because they're on the same output now, remember? I think they're on the same output.
think it's bad.
Yeah, maybe. Didn't I put them on the same output?
Yeah, they were teamed together.
We had to team together because something was fucked up?
We used something from them, I thought.
I can swear we put them together. I don't see one on here that we wrote down. I just want to make sure, like, and they're not long enough to bring over to the other side. The cable's not long enough, right?
No.
Plug it in. I think it would be. Shot in the dark.
Huh?
It's a shot in the dark.
Yeah.
So I got left hand on that output, which I thought we ended up wiring together at the end. Yeah, I haven't witnessed anything else other than that. Let me see. 12. Pretty sure I disconnected 12 completely.
What did we tie together in there? We only tied one wire together.
I think the signal.
To the ABCF or to the solenoids?
I think so. Doesn't mean that it doesn't have power if they have different power supplies.
I mean, you want me to probe the plug and see if it's going? Or should I plug the sensor and see if it's working?
Yeah, we can do that.
That way we know if the connector's working, then it's a sensor.
So that makes sense. If I'm only getting one cam to open, or one solenoid open for lift. I actually hooked up the oil switches too. I hooked those under, I think they were TGV inputs. I just never wired it, or never activated it. Because I was like, yeah, it'll work. Of course it'll work. Why wouldn't it? It's a completely weird engine that I got from Japan that I have no idea if it works or not. Maybe 11. I want to use a switch. Switches, here you go.
I have power on both sides of the plug. I have 3.6 volts and I have 13.8.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so that's on this one over there?
Yep.
Alright, now I'm going to change the state of it. Whoops. I will. You said it's the same?
Yep. Same rating on the same plugs.
So it's not a different output. So I must have moved it to something else. I don't remember doing it. But we must have.
But they're separate?
It must be, right? What else would it be?
So you're telling me it picked up 100 horsepower on one tank?
On one tank, yeah. Yeah. I mean, come on, it's got 7 pounds of boost on it. It's making slightly over what stock should be. Like,
Yeah.
it's definitely got something going on. All right. Well, if that's the case, so the fuck did I hook it up to? That's the right hand, right?
Yes.
That's the right hand one. Man, I thought we'd feed them together. You want to?
I think we were going to, and we found another pin. We found another output. That's I remember now. Because instead of tying them together, we pinned it in. It was one of the last ones we put in. It's like number 7, or 6 and 14, 6 and 16, something like that. I did it in car, remember?
No, but I believe you.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Let's see what I got. Aux channel 6.
Because there was 2 things I added. I added
16.
intercooler. I added intercooler and I added something else. And I think that's what the other thing was I added.
Well, I have a bunch of things available, so. So those are the cams. You know what this doesn't have that I wish it had? I wish it had like a report. So the Hall Tech, you can do an input-output report, and you hit it, and it whoop, gives a report of all the inputs and outputs, and like what's used and what's not used. This doesn't have that, as far as I know. I mean, it might. It'd be cool if it did. I also suspect it might have a slight vacuum leak, because as I've been driving it, the throttle position needed to keep it running has dropped lower and lower and lower and lower. And so like now it's at minimum position almost, and you see what's happening with auto control. So, alright, so I gotta figure out where I put that other freaking one on there. Left-hand relay, aux 11, which I have right here marked as aux 11. But it's not right-hand relay. Right hand would have been aux 4. Because I don't think I would have changed that one, right? So, do I have aux 4 used? If not, then that's the one. I just forgot to hook it up. Okay, let's try that. Let's see what happens. Aux 4. Alright, plug it in.
Oh yeah. There she goes.
Sweet.
I wrote this test out. It's literally like one of my favorite tools.
That thing's great.
It shows pulsing. 1.8 volts.
It says that?
Yeah. It was flashing 1.8 volts.
So that's right hand.
Also, did you hear me plug it in?
I did.
Well, it got quiet too once it filled up with oil. Like it wasn't getting. Like it was really loud for a second and went and like bogged down a little bit. So I wonder if that hasn't been bypassing it on.
Yeah, well, it hasn't, obviously, because I haven't turned it on.
Yeah.
Now all the power is going to happen.
All 265?
Yeah, right? I mean, we'll probably pick another 80 wheel on it.
Probably.
Alright. Now I got to set the parameters up for it.
That intenser is going to drive me nuts.
Yeah, what is it?
It's just a idler. Or the tensioner. Tensioner idler. It's either that or it's the belt slipping on the alternator pulley. But I doubt it because it has like a 180 ramp on it. So I doubt that that's the problem. Unless the belt's just like hard.
Alright, let's see if that works. I just mirrored it in the logic. I believe I did it right. So check my user channels. Output 3 and 4. Did not work. Did not work. User 5, right hand. Oh, the delays are set fucking forever on these things. I forgot about that. None, none, none. So if output status is greater than 0, it's on. Okay, that should work then. Okay. But this delay, I need to be 0 and 0 because the delay is set on number 4. Yes, they are available on eBay. Any of them. Okay. 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 All the cams are working now. know how many horsepower this is going to add. What do you think? Both cams with lift working? Like that. Engine temp won't go up, so this must have a cold thermostat in it. Too cold. Like, I don't want 90 degrees Celsius. I want this fucker up there. Here goes. Oh, I picked up 100 horse. Yeah. That sounded fucking mean. You're right, Mike. Here came the power. I have to rescale the dynos now. Now we're talking. Fuck you! I don't think I've been so happy over 350 wheel in my life, to be honest with you. Oh, this is interesting. Now that it's actually flowing, the boost is dropping towards redline. Wow. Okay, so I fucked up. And I fucked up because my goal was to have the torque be 350 wheel from the bottom to the top. And unfortunately, on that last pull, I hit 420 wheel torque. And didn't pull a rod. So I'm going to leave it. I've never been so happy for 350 wheel in my life. That's what's insane about it. I gotta put the horsepower and the torque on the same scale. Oh, no, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I have on the wrong scale. That's good news. It's good news, actually. No. It's perfect. It was exactly 350 wheel torque. Exactly 350, which is what I wanted. So never mind. That's perfect. I just cut the scale. I scaled the horsepower to get that on the graph. Cut the scale the torque with it. It's not on the same scale, and the torque is exactly 350. I mean, where's my other phone at? That's funny. Like literally exactly 350. All right, now it peaks there and drops down to 250 torque by redline. So the horsepower is getting pretty flat, and the boost is falling off now. Now it's actually flowing through the engine. So now I'm going to raise the boost towards redline. Treat it like a FA20 on stock rods. Because I mean, it's essentially the same thing, right? 350 wheel torque and 350 wheel horse. So it's 350, 350. I'm still surprised at how laggy it is, considering I got so many more cylinders and so much more displacement. That part's a little bit of a surprise and a bit of a bummer. I do know that my timing is really conservative before the boost comes in, so I think I'm going to have to add into that region and see how much it picks up. But boost is 4250 on a G30 770. That's not that fast. That man, I do that on EJs all the time. Now I have no wastegate duty cycle in here at all, so the gates could be very easily lifting a little bit. they're set at they're 5-pound springs, so or 5.98, so 6-pound springs. But if you look at this log here, if you can see it, my timing is right here, and you see here at manifold pressure, my timing is 24 degrees, which is the same as my timing at full boost. So I clearly need to add timing in this region. Now, if I do that, that should help the turbo spool a little faster. Let's go to the cam control. Let's see if the cams are behaving a little better. Still a little waviness here at some transients and on the back end here, which is probably a function of oil temperature and slightly oil pressure, but it's better than it was. I can still fuck with that some. And the cam is pretty much the same through that whole region, 40-something degrees. So you would think that it would be spooling pretty quick right there, and it's not, unfortunately. And the AVLS is active too, so I have full airflow and maximum overlap. Although I think the tune for these shows it going to 50 degrees, so maybe they can go to 60. Should we find out? Let's find out. I mean, it says it goes to 50 in the factory tune. And usually the factory tunes don't go the full length that the gear is able to travel. They usually stay short. So I'm going to go to 60 and see what happens. Like that. And then I'm also going to add that timing that I talked about. So down here in this region, see how conservative it is, how much the time map drops down there? I don't need that shit to be that aggressive. I need it to, or that safe. I need to pick it up. Let's make some man timing out of it, huh? We're going to raise it from everywhere under that 4,000 RPM range. Now, a little bit of this is keep rods intact timing too, but since it doesn't even happen until the boost comes in, then it's not really doing its job. All right. Oops. Let's get both of you in there. All right. This might need to be a little higher too, really. Let's see what the factory tune is on that. Like I said, for the driving areas, the low load areas, I'm relying on the factory tune for a lot of the information about this engine because I don't know a lot about it. So in the cruise regions, at 2,000, it's got 35, and then at wide open throttle, it's got almost 30. So I can definitely add some more in there. Let's do a little more there. Okay. Now the boost is falling, so let's address that. We're now going to enable boost target. And the boost was, what was it falling to? 145 and then dropping to 130. So I want to keep it here, 145 at 4,000, and I'm going to raise it to like 180 at redline linearly. So 145 at 4 and 180 at redline. So I got 180 here, and here we want 145. So I'm going to change this whole column. Actually, let's do this right here. 145. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to go like that. I'm going to go like that. Oops. There. I need to go that far to the right because that part doesn't matter. In fact, I'll just get rid of that now. Okay. So 180 to 145. Oh, oops. Hit the wrong button. Weird looking boost map. But that's what I'm going to do. So 180. Alright. Oh, it's wrong way. This is that clamp table I was talking about earlier. That's a huge boost target. 360, probably not. Alright. Scale that thing some other time. Yeah, right, Travis? We'll see. We'll see. I'm just trying to hold 350 torque. This thing actually has a requested torque thing that you can do and use the SI drive for. Check this out. I go cal control. Oh, this tail won't pop up. Anyway, there's a tail that pops up, and it I don't think it'll pop up. Let me see. Check the score. No, it doesn't. I hate the way it doesn't catch the sub windows. But there's one that pops up here, and so for each position of the SI drive, I can select boost maps, boost target tables, and everything else, and that's really cool. I can't show you, but yeah, you can change. It's a full it's a list of stuff that you can change with the SI drive. Oops. Yeah. Almost. So Sport Sharp is folded rod with anti-lag. Oh, wife text me. Here's phone. Oh yeah, I gotta get the fuck out of here. We have dinner tonight. Well, let's see what the boost does. Save. Save ECU. Let's hear this thing sing. This thing sounds awesome.
That was sounding good.
404.
That's what it should have been.
That was a good one, right? A long time ago.
So it picked up 80 wheel from the
100. That was 100. Because we got some fans saying, like, hey, what's this? Right on. I'm a fan. Not gonna lie. Okay, so the boost pressure is going up, but the boost went up only a little bit. The target went up higher than the boost did. Some of that's going to be my boost valve position. It's not high enough, which is fine because I got to do it. Of course, that's slowly. I don't want to go too crazy with it. Yeah, hit 20% up top. Okay, and that's the peak. So I need to add a little more to that. Let's check everything else though first, huh? What's my AFR? AFR is a little on the lean side. It's about 12.5. Yeah, you know what's crazy is I have my bit rate is cranked way up. It's at 10,000. It's what is it, megabits a second or some shit, right? Which is way too much. But all right, so the pressure. Wow, that's not all it looks like on the thing. All right, so the boost pressure was a little wavy, as you can see here, and the horsepower graph kind of represented that too. Timing went a little bit. All right, so what I'm gonna do is, oh yeah, let's see if it's spooled any faster. Doesn't look like it did. Look like it's spooled at the same. Yeah, no, same. Definitely spooled about the same on the bottom end. What's my valve doing? Oh, the valve does dip quite a bit. So I have it set to go to 0. Okay. Damn it. Yeah, I see the duty cycle jumps up and then stops there. Alright. It's not unstable, so that's good news. I like that axis on that table. I'm going to change that at some point. Alright, so add more authority there. Air fuel's a little wavy on there, so in the closed loop section, I'm going to change. Where'd it go? Here it is. I thought there was a frequency. It'll probably sound great. Let's go to that log. Let's go to tune. See here that we're getting, it's adding 7% right there. Adding 8% there.
Mr. Dominic.
Yep.
I got something. I got a big fancy to show you.
Okay, 1 second. 6,500 and 151. Oh. That is big fancy.
Yep.
And what's this for?
For my wife. For my girlfriend.
She's got a small penis.
She does.
What is that, 3 1/4 carats or something?
It is 3, and then there's 2 O2 diamonds on the side.
Oh, right there, I see them. Alright, those are cute.
Or there's 2, sorry, there's 2. My dyslexia kicking in.
Good. So then, I forgot what snide comment I was going to make. So
What's that?
I forgot what smart ass comment I was going to make.
For my girlfriend, not for the wife.
For the girlfriend? Oh, yeah, my bad.
Yep. It's been like almost 8 years since I got her a ring.
So you just got her one for S&Gs?
It's her birthday and Valentine's Day.
Oh my God, she has Valentine's Day as a birthday?
12th, tomorrow is her birthday, and then obviously Monday.
Oh, her birthday and Valentine's Day, gotcha.
So
My,
the cool thing is I get out of a holiday.
My stepmom's birthday is Valentine's Day itself.
Oh, nice.
I don't know whether that's nice for her or not.
Yeah, I get out of a holiday because we just do the birthday thing, and it's like a birthday, Valentine's Day, all one thing.
Oh, sure.
So, what's up, dude?
Well, just, getting ready to call her a day.
Me too. I gotta get out of here.
You getting ready to call her a day on
Yeah,
this one?
I gotta leave. I got dinner plans. I'm gonna do another poll here. I'm gonna try and do a glory poll. I'm gonna do a glory poll.
Let me get a video of it then.
got the boost cranked up. Got the boost cranked up. I've got the fuel adjusted. Let's see if I make parts happen. $506.
On a stock engine.
I didn't make parts happen, but I made $506. Oh, it looks a lot better too.
Are you still live on your phone over there?
Nah, phone died.
No. Well, I'll edit some videos together that we can post later. I got a good 45-second pull there.
Oh, wow. Wow. Alright, I gotta show you guys this. I save this first. Yes, the short term was better that time. Except for the top end. Top end is a little fucked up. Gotta fix that a smidge. Check this out. This is live here so they can see it. Woo. They're all getting seasick though, because I'm throwing the fucking laptop around. My other camera died, so. So you're seeing this at 480, so it's gonna be really obvious what's going on. But the torque was flat right around 380 or so, and it touched 400 on top. And horsepower is like a 45-degree turn from 4,000 to 7,000. I can make that better for you. Hold on a second. Is that working? There we go. The clutch, it's actually an ACT XTSS from my RS. So it's a lightweight flywheel, which I kind of regret doing that. It revs so fucking fast, it like almost makes it hard to drive because it revs so fast. And then the ACT XTSS, which is pretty tired. It was slipping in my car, but I was well over 500. But yeah, man, I'm really happy with that. So I'm actually gonna lower the timing right at 4K because I don't like that torque spike. I'm gonna lower that and try and get the come in a little smoother. And then I'm gonna work on some idle shit and all of that stuff, but not today because I have to go to dinner. So I'm super pumped. That was awesome. This thing sounds amazing. And I can tell it already drives better than it did last time because I drove on the street and it was a fucking dog. But I didn't have the cams opening up. The variable lift wasn't lifting. So now that that's working, it picked up 100 and something horsepower with lift and then a couple hundred horsepower with boost. So I'm super excited about that. The Graph looks really good. I honestly wish it spooled faster. I really thought 3 liters would spool a little faster than this. I thought it would spool quite a bit faster than the 2.5. I realized there's a lot of volume between the headers and the turbo, and maybe I got too big of a step before the turbo, or maybe too small before in the header. I don't know, but it the horsepower is still climbing the red line. I know these things have issues with cavitation of the oil pump at higher RPM, so I didn't want to push it too hard there. And when we go to build one, we'll actually have a better oil pump. We'll port it in the right places to help minimize cavitation and do a bunch of stuff. So that should make it more reliable, make it last longer. And overall, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty freaking awesome. And it's not bad for 2.5 weeks. That's literally all we have into this is 2.5 weeks of work. Super exciting, honestly. I've wanted to do one of these forever. I bought this engine for my car. I bought it for my RS, and so I need a little more fuel trim up top. So at the 7,000 area, it needs a little more fuel, and also at 4,000. But 2 more PSI, 2 more degrees. No, I don't want to do that. Not right now, especially because I got to go. Maybe some other time. I'm going to kill some timing, like I said, at the 4K range. Right here at the top. I just knock some down right here. Just right there. Try to minimize that torque spike some. Keep those rods together, hopefully. Right here. Pull 2 degrees out of it. That'll knock that torque down pretty easily. Right here. So I got the timing up better, as you see. This is weird here. This timing, this boost spike. I don't see that on the dyno. I mean, I see the result of it on the dyno, but I don't actually see the read on the dyno. So it must have a lot of smoothing on there. Rods on the floor, go to dinner, job done, right? Yeah, I just did 506.6. I'm really amazed with that. That was way more than I was anticipating. Oh yeah, where are my injectors at, right? Since I'm on ethanol. 102%. So that's why it ran lean up top there. I ran out of injector. I've got 6 STi injectors, and I got the base pressure at almost 70 psi. So I don't have any more fuel unless I get rid of some ethanol. If I add pump gas to it, I'll gain some overhead. It's a 60%. I don't think it needs to be 60%. I think 40% is enough. If I do that, I can gain another few percent injector duty cycle. But clearly here, I am out of injectors, so I can't do any more with that. All the parts stayed in it.
Wow.
All the parts stayed in it, man. Yeah.
So what you're telling me is you're pulling like 3 degrees.
Right now, I am pulling timing. Yes, that's exactly what's happening right now. Yeah.
That was accidental, but it all went.
Oh, it was on purpose. I said I'm doing a glory pull. I'm doing a glory run.
Here's another thing.
And
when you just did that pull when we were out there watching, no
yeah.
smoke.
No smoke.
None. 0. I was just watching it like a hawk and nothing.
So maybe it was the fucking differential pressure across the exhaust and shit. I don't know, pushing oil out.
Could be. Or maybe it had to do something with the ABCS taking up oil control. Or the ABO, sorry. Using more of the oil pressure.
Yeah, maybe.
Something, some flow thing.
Yeah. Uh-oh, processing, please wait. Yeah.
I mean, it's all speculation.
It's all speculation, no idea. Yeah, absolutely.
The only thing that changed was the solenoid, and I don't see it smoking, so.
No, I know. I'm super excited though. Except for this whole locking up thing. I'm not excited about that. Processing, please wait. Fuck you, stop processing. Let's do this. Yeah. I mean, for this, we just put 1050s in it. I've got stock STi injectors in here right now. cranked up to 65 or 70 psi fuel pressure. What does it say on the screen there? What I got it at? I cranked it up quite a bit. So I've got high fuel pressure, making flow a little more, and then we got you know, a lot of ethanol in the tank. So I need to reduce the ethanol some to give myself a little more overhead, and then it should be good to go after that for a little more. I don't know if I want to put more power into it. I've heard these things aren't good at much more than this, if even this. So I think I'm done with this setup. I think it's time to build one. It's time to build a 36 with a 30 crank, D-stroke to that, long rods, strong rods, closed deck, big head studs, you know, the works. To build it and then put a bigger turbo on it. Our turbo kit's got room for the G35, 1050, probably run that and that other thing. So
I make so much power, dude.
I'm just, you know, I'm an animal. I'm reckless. That was 12 pounds. Yeah. So,
Gotta go drive it now.
all right, guys. Peace. I'll see you around. Thanks for stopping by. And we're gonna release a big video that's got more build stuff and how we did everything. That's coming out here in the near future. So stick around for that.